Hi everyone, most of you know me. For those that don't, my name's Tanya Kavanagh. I'm the Executive Director of Teen Challenge here in Tasmania. Together my husband Peter and I run the organisation here, and we work in a few areas. So primarily Teen Challenge itself works with people in addiction and helps them find rehabilitation and get their lives back together through a 12-month program. And we're working really hard here in Tassie to open up a Women and Children's Centre, which is actually a first for Teen Challenge here in Australia. We haven't got one of those, and it's particularly here in Tassie, it's a much needed service. We are constantly contacted by women that have children or women that are pregnant that need help getting with their addiction, getting off that. They really genuinely want to get their lives turned around, but there's literally nowhere for them to go with their kids. And especially here in Tassie, there's lots of issues involved in mums leaving the state with children as well. So we are working incredibly hard to open that centre at the Meander Primary School. Now, around about early September, we should be hopefully going through our final planning tribunal hearing around our development application for Home of Hope. And hopefully that will be the final legal hurdle that we need to go through, and we can get a permit from there. And then after that, we work through the building development application and the actual construction of the program. And the good news is that the school itself is in incredible condition. So there's not really a lot externally we need to do at all. We just need to fit it out internally with bedrooms and classrooms and kitchens and bathrooms and things like that. So that's coming along, and we'd really just appreciate your prayers for that as we get closer to early September. But what I wanted to do is just take a moment of just updating you on what is going on apart from Home of Hope and Teen Challenge. You could be mistaken to think that because Home of Hope isn't open and running, that nothing is actually happening here in Tassie with Teen Challenge. And I just want to share a little bit of what is going on. So we have 3 ministries. So Home of Hope is one of them, and that's coming soon. But what we have, which was our original ministry, is Connections Mentoring. And we also have our Not Even Once alcohol and other drug education programs that are run in schools and sporting clubs and communities and workplaces. And so we deliver that. And those 2 programs in particular are aimed at prevention. So that's helping people understand the causation issues that are behind when someone might go down the path of substance use to deal with life issues, and there's far more healthier ways to deal with that. And particularly with our Connections Mentoring program, that's about putting a positive adult alongside a young person for about an hour a week within school, and just spending and doing life with them and just helping them set goals, navigate through life's issues. They're not counsellors, and we don't pretend to be counsellors. There's plenty of support within the schools. But what a mentor does is actually builds a relationship with a young person that often doesn't have anyone in their life that's positive or constant that they can build that life connection with. So our mentoring is designed to do that. And currently we've got about 63 trained mentors in northern Tassie through here and off to the east coast. We've got 47 active connections at the moment with young people. So that's 47 young lives that are being impacted quite strongly. And I actually just wanted to share a little message that I got from one of the mentors of a note that they got that was from the young person. Clearly I'm not going to use the name of the mentor or the young person, but I just want to share what the young person said to their mentor. And so as she wrote this down, it says, "Hey, I thought I'd share this with you. I'm starting to turn my life around, meaning putting my head down at school, getting great grades, cutting out my swearing, but most importantly, my mindset. I just feel like it's time to be the teenager I'm meant to be instead of sitting here doing nothing with my life. I actually want to achieve something, but I can't achieve something if I don't have the right mindset." I've been thinking a lot lately about what you said and talking about careers. Well, I feel like I actually want to head in that direction or somewhere around there, but I've really got no clue on how to get there. and I feel like it's too late. But if I phase that into a positive way, I can study everything I need to in year 12, and if I have to, I'll continue on doing year 13 and then go on from there. And I feel like this year I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I feel like now I've seen some things happen, and I want to head down that path because I feel like I have the strength to help people, and many people. I just want to share that with you. I hope you're having a fantastic day, even though it's raining out there. And so that's actually a young person that is being mentored, and they shared that in a letter with their mentor just to, I guess, feedback a little bit, because sometimes kids are a bit shy to actually say that face to face, but by writing it or typing it out and giving that to their mentor as a way that they can express how they're feeling. And so that's incredibly encouraging for that mentor to see that the time that they've spent with this young person is actually making a difference. And we see that happen every day in different schools. In fact, I was just up at a country high school at the moment, as I said, talking to them in that school about bringing mentoring into that school. We've got a couple of trained mentors in their town, and they're really excited about having mentoring coming into their school, because particularly in rural communities, they have very minimal support out there. And so they're very excited to have some positive role models come in alongside some of their students. And we're really, really excited to help them facilitate that. And that's really what we're about, is helping communities build that. Because mentoring is it's age old, but it's a really important part of everyday life. And so we train and equip people and then help them set up in the schools and connect with these young people, and then follow them up and make sure that they're okay. But most importantly, within the support within the school, if the young person has a real challenge, like for example around mental health or things like that, sometimes our mentors help identify that because they're able to spend a little bit more time, and then they're able to give the school the heads up who gets the help and the support for the kids through there. So we really kind of add like another layer of support. And as I said, we're seeing massive amounts of kids' lives just turn positively around. Sometimes our mentors don't see it. They say, why am I actually here? I don't know why this young person, they're amazing. I don't know why they need a mentor. But if you talk to the school and you talk to the teachers, you find out that this young person really needs someone in their life, and they've seen enormous changes in this young person that perhaps a mentor can't see, but it is incredibly evident to others around them. So mentoring, we're continuing our training on that. We've just finished a batch this month. We've got more training dates coming up in July and August, and in fact we've opened our training available for professional and personal development as well. So if anyone is thinking about maybe being a mentor or just wanting the skills around having communication, particularly with young people, and some of the issues that young people face, then you're welcome to apply and come along to our training. Who knows, you might actually become a mentor at the end of that. I certainly hope that you do, and you would help a young life. But other than that, you'll gain some really amazing skills. So there's a link on this site that you can have a look at and apply for that. And lastly, I just want to talk about, the year in snapshot, particularly around Not Even Once, our alcohol and other drug education. It's very exciting news. We just had the Tasmanian Department of Education finish checking out the program and checking it against the curriculum and speaking to schools that have had this. And we've just had the green tick for our program. So we're incredibly excited around that. It's been a long time in journey to get to this point. And so they've now finished that analysis of the program, and it meets all of their requirements, which we knew, but we just needed them to be able to do that. So that's really exciting as we move forward. To date, with our Not Even Once, we've reached nearly, now it's over 19,500 young people and community members and sporting club members that have heard the message through Not Even Once. And Look, I just can't really express enough the impact that has, and it's very, very exciting to see the impact. You know, there's so many examples I could give you, but one in particular I just want to share. We're delivering at a school just a couple of weeks ago, and it was a group of year sevens, and so we're sharing and sharing some of the people that we work with and some of the causation issues, and we're having some conversations. And one of these young girls actually got up and left the room, and she was actually crying. And look, that's not always uncommon, because sometimes young people recognise some of their issues, and so the teachers are aware of this. So one of the teachers followed this young girl out, and the teacher came back in and said, look, could you possibly have a conversation with this young girl, particularly she wanted to speak to one of the young men that were presenting. And so I said, sure. So while we continued to deliver, this young man went out with the teacher and sat with this young girl and was having a conversation with her. And they came back in, and I wasn't presenting at that moment, the next person was. And so I said to her, is everything all right? How's she going? She said, yeah, like, this is really, really exciting for us. She said that this young girl is like the toughest kid they have in their, well, she said their school. This is only year 7, so maybe, who knows, she would know what she's talking about. But she said, here's this toughest girl in the school. She said, we never see any emotion from this young girl. And she said what it is that her dad is an ice user and he's a dealer. And so what you guys were talking about, it cracked her. And we're very, very excited. This is what the teacher was saying to us. We're very excited because it's the first time she's shown any emotion and that she's ever spoken about this. So we are really, really excited. This might be the turning point for this young girl, and we're very excited. So she was laughing and joking with our presenter at that point, and then she agreed to actually speak to the counsellor in the school. So that's really what this is about. It is about showing people that life, you know, can be really tough. We educate with the science and the facts around that, but we talk about the heart stuff, the life stuff that happens, that someone could end up down this path. And a lot of those mental health challenges, you know, life will throw some really challenging stuff at us, but how do we build resiliency? How do we deal with that? And so like this young lady, she's just one example. And look, in this last batch that we just did of the schools, we spoke to about 3,500 kids in a short period of time. And we had 26 kids just in 4 days come up after the seminar to talk to us about either issues that they are having with alcohol or drugs, or in their friend groups, or their family members, or just wanting to talk about how the seminar had actually really encouraged them to start talking about challenges that they're facing in their life. And so every single one of those kids was connected into the school, into their social social workers and the counsellors and the chaplains and the support staff. That, you know, there was one young girl in particular came forward that was actually having suicidal thoughts, and she spoke, and she was able to get help with a psychologist in the school within an hour of seeing the presentation. So I can't express enough how powerful, impactful Not Even Once is, and the schools and the teachers that are involved in it just keep feeding back to us, you know, the value that they see in it, in support of them and helping young people to actually make some better life choices and understand and build some resiliency in this space, and how to have problem-solving skills, how to have some hope in their life, and how to find someone that they trust, someone that's a bit older, to spend some time with them and go from there. So we've got the school's film competition alongside that this year, and that's been going really well. We've got film entries coming in from the schools that we've delivered to. We've still got the rest of this year to continue with that and just do what we do. So I know I've been speaking for a long time. There's much more I can say. Like this year we've had We were the official charity at AgFest for 2018, which was incredible. We actually had 14 families come and speak to us while we were there. I mean, heaps of people spoke to us, but these people were actually coming for help for a loved one. And one of those people actually is now in a rehab centre in one of the interstate Teen Challenge centres and is still going really well in there. So they've been in there for a while now, which is really exciting. Look, we're still working with many, many people. As I said, Pete's got a caseload of about 7 young men at the moment. I've got a handful of teenagers that I'm working with at the moment, which is really hard because there's no services as far as rehab goes. So you just got to keep working. So we work with some young people through youth justice and their family members, and just do, you know, the best that we can to help these people have someone to talk to and help when they're ready for help, to help get them connected into what is around there. And we have a lot of people that help. Pretty much the foundation of Teen Challenge is Pete and me, though. We have an awesome lady called Margot who helps with the program coordination of our mentoring program, which has been an enormous help for me this year. We've got 4 new trained presenters for Not Even Once. That means that I don't need to do all of them, and they can come in and deliver the program when they come around. And we have people, you know, like mowing the lawns out at Home of Hope and helping us with lots of stuff. So that's been really awesome, but we need more help. We have more and more people coming forward, and particularly as our mentoring builds and you know, when Home of Hope opens as well. I mean, that's a whole different story, but with Not Even Once for entering in data, etc., we need more help, and obviously your day-to-day bills as well, the electricity and all the rest of it that comes in. I mean, we fundraise through barbecues and do as much as we can, but, you know, Pete and I are only 2 people and there's only so much that we can do. So we really, I hate doing this because it's end of financial year and everyone is doing this, but if you haven't donated to a charity or anything and you're wanting to do something, and tomorrow is like D-Day, like the last day of the month, but hey, consider, ask them what we do. Put it out there. If you don't ask, you don't receive, right? So there is a spot on here that you can go in and donate to support what we do, and we'd be really, really appreciative if that is something that you would consider doing. And also, if you're wanting to volunteer and help at barbecues or help with some data entry or maybe some admin or something, you've got some spare time that you could volunteer some time and help us with that, I'd be really grateful for any assistance that we can get at all. So this next financial year is going to be very, very exciting. Not Even Once is growing. We've had inquiries from overseas. In fact, there's one of the Pacific Islands we're talking to at the moment for assisting them. And so we'll probably give them some assistance later on this year. We're just working through some of the logistics of that at the moment. And Not Even Once is expanding nationally as well. We're now taking bookings in Western Australia, more in New South Wales, South Australia, Victoria, Queensland. Like, this is really growing. It's seeing the success and the impact is really, really exciting to be part of that. So I'm going to wrap up now because I've been speaking for a long time. This is supposed to be a short video. But if you want to help us, have a look at this email and there's contact details on there. So God bless you all. Thank you all for everything that you do in our community. We really appreciate you, and I look forward to updating on how things go moving forward, and definitely impacting young lives. And just sharing our vision statement for the board just finished having their strategic planning meeting, and we were focusing on what our vision is for Teen Challenge Tasmania, and it is now official. Our vision is a world free of addiction. We believe by starting grassroots, we're not talking just Tasmania, we're talking a world free of addiction. So we are working and very passionate about this prevention side of things with mentoring and with Not Even Once. So through education. So watch this space. There's some exciting things coming from Tassie. God bless you all. Love you all. Bye.